Welcome to the start of another reading vlog. So this week is gonna be quite a hectic one. There's quite a few things that are going on. And let's just get into the vlog. Yo! I just finished my exercise and yeah, my partner got the parcel that was meant to be my birthday gift, and it's the special edition from Page and Wick for the Sword of Kaigen. So let's open it together. Oh, okay, card. This is the candle. We shall unwrap that first, as we should. So, okay. Their packaging is quite secure and minimal, which is great for sustainability. The sound. Oh, okay. The candle, like I said. Mount Takayuri, the Age of the Empire, where our characters stay at. Let me open this and smell it. Citrus. What? No idea. I have no idea what it's supposed to smell like. But it smells really good. It smells very homely, a little bit vanilla-y, and it smells like clean hotel smell. You understand? Like the vanilla-y, soapy kind of citrus, a little bit of the citrus smell. Oh, it smells quite good. Oh. Yep. And the piece de la resistance. Oh, that book. And I think there's one more thing. I can't remember, but the book. Or is that just it? Oh my god. I'm not someone who collects special editions, but I love the Sword of Kaigen so much that I'm willing to do it because I love it so much. You know, Rafe Mark came out with one edition before, and I haven't shown you guys yet the edition. And I think, yeah, and they're coming out with edition number 2, and I'm waiting for the designs of that. And I want that too. I desperately want it too, because I love the Sword of Kaigen. I don't know how guys explain. Materialism, capitalism comes with this book for me. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Look at it. Oh. It's so beautiful. It's so different from the other edition as well. Oh. This one has like the whole rainbow thing going on the sides with the different clans, if I'm not wrong. Oh. Yeah, okay, let's see the oh my god. Spoiler alert. No, okay. No, you wouldn't know what it kinda means, so here you go. Oh, wow. No. No. Oh. Oh. Oh, Lord. Oh, okay, what's the other side? Oh. Alright, nice. Oh, she's so... Look at that. She's such a beauty. Like, I love you, ML Wong. You are the reason that... Oh, you're the reason for everything in life. I've never read a book so fast with such fervent... in such a fever before this book. Oh, and it's signed. Beautiful. Oh. You know, the ridiculous thing that I was going to do, that I told my partner that I would do, is that I told my partner, if I ever get the courage to go to, the US, because the US is so unsafe nowadays, and if I ever have the funds to go to the US, is that I would bring all my special editions to like a con that ML Wong is attending and get it all signed. And I realized like that's so dumb because all the special editions literally have her signature. I don't need them to be signed technically. Okay, let me show you guys the other edition just so you can see in comparison. Okay, so I got the two different editions. One is the Page Page and Wick, which is this one, right? That you've seen. And the other is Wraithmark, which is this one. So you can tell that they're both quite different in terms of size as well. What? Oh. Okay. Size and of course the art style and the art that's meant to be on the front. And sorry, they came with a patch and a bookmark. So beautiful. And the internal art, like, Felix Ortiz. I'm so sorry, but like his art is really something. I'm not saying this art is not nice. Let's see who did this one. Yeah, so some of the illustrations are like this. So beautiful. And then the map is on the end pages for this one. Oh, they're all good editions. So I can't wait for the second Wraithmark edition that we're gonna get from Wraithmark. So I'm gonna get that, and then we have 3 different editions of this. Actually, it will be 3 editions, special editions, and then 1 of the normal edition. And then I've yet to get the new book that she had published and just recently published like with a traditional publisher as well. So I'm planning to get that because I only have the arc of that. Yeah. So that's all. I just wanted to show you these beautiful books and how beautiful they are, and the fact that I love it very much. And that's all. Bye bye. As you can see, I look very different with my new hair. I decided to perm it because it's a lot easier permed. If you know, you know. If you have somewhat of a wavy hair, anytime you wake up, the hair kind of just looks correct and it's a little weird. And my hair is, I wouldn't say extremely straight, but it's certainly more straight and has a little bit of a curl at the end, and it kind of like goes up in really untidy ways, and no matter how much I try to manipulate it with water and a bit of styling products, it kind of won't be as we call it, guai in Chinese. It won't be, what is guai in Chinese? Like good and just stay there. Yeah, that's what it kind of means. So the last time we talked, I was reading quite a few books, and right now I already just finished The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, as well as finished Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. So the other day I happened to be watching some cable TV, and Fantastic Beasts, the very 3rd installment, was playing, and I've never watched it because I was not interested anymore. And you know, watching it gave me the feels of wanting to just read Harry Potter again. So I binged it in 2 days because it's such a short book. But otherwise, I'm not going to talk much about it because I understand people are not still not comfortable with her, and honestly, I don't really want to support her either. So I can just keep my enjoyment to myself. So let's talk about Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, which is the third and final book to the first era of Mistborn. Wow. How do I say it? It was certainly not what I expected. I think with the whole trajectory of the story, I really didn't know where we were gonna be and how it would end. Even at the like 90% mark, I was still wondering like where are we going with this and how will it end? And I think the ending was kind of ending where you take a deep breath and just feel the world around you. I don't know how to explain that feeling, but it's kind of like this peaceful silence that you can't otherwise feel unless you're in a room completely by yourself with no appliances on, and that is just silence. You know, I don't know if you know the musical Matilda, and the song Quiet is how I feel about the ending of the very last book, Hero of Ages. I don't know if I actually like the ending considering everything, but I felt at peace with what I was given. And ultimately, I thought, with how everything was going, I think this was appropriate wrap. I think it was sad without spoiling anything. It's almost as if my journey with these characters are gone and over, and I'm feeling the loss of that, really. And ultimately, I think I mentioned the last vlog that I liked Mistborn 2, 1, then 3. No. 2, 3, and 1. And I think it still remains to be the same. I think 1 was really the weakest book because 1 was the setup to everything, and you're introduced to a whole system and the whole dynamics of this world. And that can be a bit jarring with the way Brandon Sanderson likes to do things, which is that he's very descriptive and it's very like just tell, not really show. And there were a lot of scenes in book 1 where the characters will talk a lot and have long meetings in the book where it would just be chapters and chapters of meetings. And I didn't really like that until we went into the second half of the book where more action was happening and more conversations were happening, not in a meeting sense. Yeah. And I got used to the world building. And book 2 was when I felt things really changed because of the way book 1 ended. The whole dynamics of the world and the situation, the political situation changed. And it gave a lot of rise to the characters almost starting from ground zero again and wondering what they wanted to do next. And they weren't sure, and it kind of restarted the story. It's almost as if Mistborn 1 was more of a prequel, and Mistborn 2 and 3 are like a duology. For me, that's how I felt with the story. The story really kickstarts with book 2, and I thought book 2 was amazing. I thought the character growth, the relationship buildings between all of the different characters were really top notch, and which is why I gave it 5 stars. And now I don't read my books anymore. I just only read the ones that I really thoroughly enjoy and just give it 5 stars. The rest are just like, okay, whatever it is, 3, 4. I enjoyed it, but maybe it didn't wow me. So book 2 really wowed me with the trajectory, especially with Vin and another character, Ellen. 2 of them, the dynamics, how they are, is very interesting to see. And then when we come to the third book, it was very politically heavy and battle scene heavy because it's a lot of warfare at this point. We're built up to a war. And we see a lot of these different governing bodies coming together to fight one another, alliance with another. And I like that, but not as much as the softer approach of book 2, where the politics and the relationship building and the character growth were all quite well done and balanced. But book 3 was very politically heavy and battle scene heavy, which makes sense because it was the final book. But like I said, because of the build-up of everything, it felt like very much like real life. I think Sanderson has this beauty of making things feel like it's real. really legitimately, I felt like this must have happened years ago or years after us. And it feels like real battles happening in real time. And the emotions of the characters are um, understandable and relatable. Even if I've never been to war before, even if I've never experienced something like them before. So with how it chose to end and with how the story was built up, it did feel like I couldn't tell where it was going. And in that sense, because of that, I couldn't give this like a 5 stars because I felt like the story was meandering a little bit here and there. Like, okay, we're going here and going there, and I cannot see end point, and I wanted to see the end point. So that was that. But with the conclusion and that quietness and that sense of relief and sense of like closure that I felt with the last book, it really felt right with the way he did it. Even though I was not sure if this was the ending I really wanted, this was the ending I expected, because I could not, for the life of me, imagine the kind of ending that we could get. And I think I'm quite satisfied with it. So I'm riding on that wave of loving this book, and I'm moving on to Mistborn Era 2, which I'm really, let me get it. I've already sort of started, which is the Alloy of Lore, which is the season 2, you can say, of everything. We're following a whole new set of characters years and years after Vin, Kelsey, and whatsoever. And the crew. So I'm interested. I heard that not many people like Era 2, but I like this world. I think that's what's drawing me back over and over again. I like Sanderson's magic systems. No matter what, I think he is brilliantly original. I've never seen anyone who has quite his plot lines or quite his magic systems, especially his magic systems. It's so unique. No matter, and true across his large body of work, not one of it really coincides with the other. It is so surprising. I think he's so brilliant for that, and why I continue to love him. And the truth is that, actually, I'm not the biggest Brandon Sanderson fan. This is really like my first proper Sanderson. I wouldn't really call Steelheart my first one. And like, Steelheart is his YA. Skyward is also his YA, but this is really my first foray into his adult novels. And I am seeing what people are saying, really. I didn't see it with Mistborn 1, but I saw it with Mistborn 2, and then I saw it more with Mistborn 3. I really always loved his magic system, but the whole character building thing was not something that I thought he was good at originally. And I'm wrong. That's why people love him. I'm wrong. I'm really wrong, and now I know. So I guess the next one that I really want to try from him is Way of Kings. Oh god, that is so intimidating. I'm kind of scared, but I should give it a go anyway, right? Yeah, and that's getting me very excited. And also I realized with the way Sanderson writes, because I'm not the biggest fan of his writing style. Like I said, he's very tell, not show. He likes to info dump you a little bit and not really give you a chance to explore the world blindly. He holds your hand a lot, which is also great for people who are beginners of fantasy. That's why Brandon is always the way to go for beginners, as many other fantasy readers would tell you. But I would say his books are actually really good for audio. I'm not good at listening to fantasy books on audio, but his books kind of work on audio. It's just the way that he can describe things and paint the picture for you. Like I say, he holds your hand a lot, tells you information very straightforwardly, doesn't have flowery writing or have complicated like world building, or dumps you with a bunch of characters and then they're going in and out of the story narrative all the time. He keeps his story very, very close-knit, I would say, like concise. And I think it makes it very easy to follow on audio because of all the weird names. It's hard to imagine those names if you don't know how it's spelled. So I do recommend that if you're more of an audiobook reader, you could read them together, the audiobook and the book. And once you kind of get a hang of who the characters are, the magic system built and everything, where you know the words exactly that he's saying, and you don't have to do any more guesswork, then you can just move on fully to audio. And that's what I'm actually going to do with Alloy of Lore. Alloy of Lore? The Alloy of Law, sorry. Yeah. And that's pretty much the update for what I finished. And I'm currently reading still the same things. Spirits of Vengeance by Rob J. Hayes. I've touched like one more chapter of this book. I'm really I don't like this book so much, but I told you it's not that I don't like it, but it's just that it's not the right time. But I'm like forcing myself to read it because I know that if I'm never gonna pick it up, if I don't pick it up now, I'm never gonna pick it up again. I mean, so you saw that I did some coding as well, which is what I'm doing now. I'm trying to learn the code because I think it's quite fascinating. And I'm using this thing called Codex. And it's so fun. They make it look like a game, and I think that's the whole point of learning things. So I'm taking it a step at a time. I'm not good at coding, obviously. I'm so bad at it. Like, my brain is not made for it, but I don't care. I just want to learn. And I find it very fascinating and fun to see, like, things happen with code. And so the plan is, like, to finish, like, so I have lesson plans. And so for each lesson that I complete coding, I'll read a chapter of Spirits of Vengeance and back and forth. So that I kind of just finished Spirits of Vengeance as part and parcel of daily living, okay? And then I'm also reading The Ship of Magic, which I have not started yet, but I've drew it from my can of books that I folded into like little papers and just like randomly pick up one. So I'm gonna read that. I'm very excited because it's been a long time since the final book of the Farseer trilogy, Assassin's Crest, and I took a break because that series was very taxing on me, and it felt so much, and I went through so much with Fitz and all the characters, and I just thought I needed a break because Robin Hobb really, wow, just thinking about Fitz makes me want to cry. What's wrong with me? Am I emotional? What's going on? This, and I don't know. Anyway, so Robin Hobb, she knows how to bring emotions. She knows how to bring emotions out of you, right? She really knows how to get my tears flowing and get me mad, get me happy, and everything. So I told myself I needed to take a break, and this series is really long anyway. So this is the next trilogy that follows after the Farseer, which is part of the entirety of the Elderlings. Oh my god, I don't remember. Anyway, point is, so I'll start on that. And I'm also continuing on with my Harry Potter reread, which I'm not gonna touch on anymore. So yeah, life updates this week was quite a hectic one. I had two major events of the week, which is that I went to XG's concert, and I felt so out of place because I don't dress like those people, man. They look so good, all these young people, and I just, wow, I wish I could. All these Gen Alphas and their outfits and whatsoever. Anyway, and I had the most amazing time watching them. They're like the first girl group I've ever watched a concert of, and yeah, I think it was a wonderful experience despite them not having that many songs of their own. They're very cute and engaging, and that's what's fun. And the second thing is that my workplace had a durian party. Yeah, and I'm not a biggest fan of durian. Not because of the smell, not because of the taste, not because of the texture, but simply because I find that it gives me a sore throat because it's so hitty. That's kind of what we Asians or Chinese at least like to say. Like, things have like the ability to add heat or coolness to our body. And durian is one that would add a lot of heat and bring an imbalance of like our yin yang kind of energy out of balance, and then we get sore throats, we fall sick. It's the same with like eating too many cooling things. So yeah, durian is very heaty. And I ate a whole durian worth. That I've never done that before. All my life, through all my childhood, I've only eaten durian like 1 or 2 seeds at a time, and really small ones. But I ate at least a whole durian worth. And wow. And if you've never had durian, I really don't know how else to describe the taste, describe the smell to you. but a lot of people do not like its pungent smell. I would say do not judge it for a smell, because after you put one in your mouth, it kind of just dissipates. So if you've never tried durian before, and if you ever go to Southeast Asia, any parts of Southeast Asia like Malaysia, Singapore, where else? I think Indonesia also has durian. Yeah, try it if it's in season, because it's quite interesting, and it's like a once in a lifetime kind of thing if you don't live in Southeast Asia. Anyway, it's the season, that's why we had the party, and I had a lot. I was very hungry, so I ate a lot. Yeah, in any case, I'll update you guys again the next time round. But I hope your reading is going a lot better than mine this year. I feel like I wanted to read a lot more this year, but I think I'm barely making to my Goodreads goal of 50 books this year. That's because I have multiple hobbies as well. I've been journaling. I actually picked up journaling. Let me show you. Picked up like journaling, and it's kind of ugly. Like, can you guys see it? Like, it's so ugly, but who gives a shit, right? The only thing that makes it really freaking cute, it's like the stickers and stuff. Like, look at that, like a weekly tracker hobby thing. And I have so many hobbies, guys. I'm coding now, I'm crocheting, I'm making YouTube videos. There's never enough time. I'm watching YouTube videos. And yet, I'm taking upgrading courses to understand like the IT space a lot more. I'm taking up a cybersecurity course to get my understanding cemented and everything. So I really have very little time for everything. But the surprising thing is that reading has done decently well this month. Look, that's pretty great, right? I mean, yeah. So I hope reading for you guys is going decently well this year, because I'm not doing so great, but I'm okay, because I acknowledge that I have many things going on, and that's fine. So I'll probably catch you up, guys, later on when I finish something else, or just talk about life in general. But thank you so much for sticking around. I'm gonna do my skincare as I talk about some stuff. Yep. Avene thermal water, because I don't know, I like the feeling of like aerosol sprays on my face. It just feels so safe and you know. Yeah, that's the shits right there. I told you guys that I was gonna read a bunch of stuff like Alloy of Law, uh, Ship of Magic. Not happening. Not that I'm not gonna read Ship of Magic. That would just be pushed back a little bit later. But I'm not actually gonna start Ally of Law, and I think I'm not likely to start it anytime soon because I have found something else I wanted to read, and I have a few things I want to read because I kind of want to make a recommendations video based on certain types of books. And one of the books that I've started reading is The Goblin Emperor. And, you know, I heard some things. I heard that some people love it, some people like the feel of it, some people hate it, and I am on the team that loves it. Okay, because I don't know. I'm not the biggest. Actually, in fact, oh god, I got a pimple there. Shit. I am not a fan of cozy fantasy. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm not. I'm not usually the kind of person. And I'm not saying like the Goblin Emperor is a cozy fantasy, but it kind of is because nothing's really happening, and it seems like nothing will really happen. It's kind of like go with a feel kind of book. So the story of the Goblin Emperor is about this young boy named Maya, and he has to ascend the throne because his daddykins and three other half brothers are dead from a freak accident, and he has to take up the throne. And he was never meant to take up the throne because he's a half goblin, and his father hates him, and he's not meant to be the one that takes up the throne. Anyway, point is, he has to, and now we're just kind of seeing him as he, not say grow, but kind of him just doing his thing and learning how to be an emperor. And well, I haven't read much of it. I think if I'm not wrong, I'm on page 70 or so. Yeah. But I'm just loving the feeling of it. I'm loving Maya so much. I am so strangely connected to him. You have no idea. I'm so connected to him. It's just this quiet kindness that he has that you can't ignore. And I love that so much about him. And you can just tell that people are going to be so against how he rules his country and his kingdom. But I know it's just going to work out for him, okay? I'm just so damn certain. Anyway, so I'm loving that book so much. But because I only read 70 pages worth of it, I can't tell you much. But the other book that I'm planning to read is The Prince of Thorns by Mark Lawrence. And yeah, if you can guess based on the books that I'm reading what kind of video it is, then kudos to you. But I don't think anyone will really figure it out because it's quite specific and specialized that honestly my little brain wouldn't have thought of it if I hadn't encountered it recently. But anyway, point is, yeah. And little updates. Oh, I'm going for a networking thing tomorrow. Gosh, I'm kind of anxious about that. Like, I haven't gone for networking stuff recently. Part of my job is really to do that, but I haven't had the time to go and do it recently. I've been doing a lot more of like the administration stuff of work, and I haven't done the networking thing a lot. And I'm going tomorrow night, and I'm a little anxious, but at least it's a all women's event, and any women who knows being in a male dominated industry is really frustrating in its own way. I don't know. I think because of the way I look young. I am young. It's not that I'm old, but I am young, and I look younger than I really am. And people often look at me like I'm just a little girl with like nothing to prove and whatever, and I just, it's very frustrating. And especially the older men, they just really undermine you. Like men my age or men around the 30s is not too bad, but men like in their 50s, there's only two ways to look at me. I'm their daughter, or I'm just an incompetent little girl or student, or yeah, a student is like on an internship. So I mean that's just the challenges. Anyway, so luckily it is a women's event and I'm gonna feel a lot better. And truly it's because I also work in a almost all women's environment for the longest time. And to jump into an industry that's so purely dominated by men, and I never realized how dominated it was by men, that I feel like that comfort among the womanly embraces of other women. So it's weird the way I'm describing it, but you get it if you've been in a male dominated industry. I guess most industries are, except for like nursing, which is where I came from. Yeah. But this is probably like the end of the vlog. I probably won't be vlogging in a while. I think I just wanna save the vlogs also for when I do some like live updates and reading updates, and that's like my plans on how it will go. Yeah, so honestly, I want to thank you all so much for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!